And we're getting ready to get a nice video going tonight. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults and teens. We're going to be preparing you for a night drive. What do you need to look for? How do you need to do? How do you avoid anxiety? The first thing I want to say is just relax out here, okay? We're going to really have a good tutorial tonight. We're going to help you. We're going to calm you down and really get you going. So we want to put the vehicle into drive. And as you can see, I'm ready to go. I'm focused, got a big smile on my face. You need to have a big smile. Hey, you're going to see a really incredible car coming. I thought the holiday season was over, but that car's all lit up. And of course, you got pedestrians coming by too. So you got to watch them. And this is why we stopped by the crosswalk. That car looks pretty nice. Okay, it's nice to have lights like that. But also, we got to look and prepare. Whenever you're pulling off from a park spot, you got to turn on your blinker, and our blinker's on. Right? It looks like a Mustang. It is. And then I'm going to pull off. The last time we were here was a very, 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 very bad snowstorm. And you guys have to look back on that. Okay, I'm going to make a left turn at this light. And I have to yield for traffic, so you got to really look. And then I'm here, so you got to commit. Once you get an intersection, commit. Early on in my career, I noticed a lot of beginning drivers would just panic. So we want to just keep it chilled, keep it relaxed, and analyze this area. This is a really tight area. This is Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Detroit, Michigan. This is Chicago, Illinois. There's a lot of things going. I cannot make a left, so I'm gonna have to. I can't make a right, so I gotta. Oh God, I just made a mistake, so I'm gonna have to turn around. So when you have mistakes like this, don't panic. We're just gonna turn around, and this is real. So we'll pull in this alleyway to the left, and then we're gonna do a 3-point turnaround. We're going to reverse. So you notice, real life, I'm looking, checking traffic, and you gotta look left and right. And then I'm gonna back up, okay? And just don't panic and really trust your skills. I haven't been here in a while, so we're gonna be driving through the area. And I'm gonna make a right turn. And a lot of these downtown areas, they have a lot of one-ways. So we do not want to, oh, I'm in one. Okay, you know, sometimes you're just off tonight, your timing is off, your focus is off. That's how I kind of feel. I've just been really tired lately. So I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna look left and right. This is similar to downtown Royal Oak, Michigan, downtown Chicago, Illinois, Michigan Avenue. So we're looking left and right. This is a very young person's high-end area. Okay, so we really gotta watch out for people who are going to clubs, a lot of parking spots. It's also really exciting. So I like doing some nice downtown drives, but you gotta be careful because we do not want to run over someone. Okay, let's go in slow. And you don't want to miss things. So you really gotta be careful. And I mean that even for me as an experienced driver, I'm just trying to give you a real life perspective. And I'm coming up here. And you can see how pretty it is too. But there's a lot of distractions going on. Oh man. I think I need to go up to the next light. So I'm looking around, trying to find something familiar. And when you're learning how to drive, you're looking for familiarity, right? And there's, of course, a railroad track. So we're looking left and right. And for me, not being here in a while, I'm a little bit different. Hey, is that E? Here on Lake, yes, I dropped the girls off. They're out here partying. So I was a good dad, dropped them off because I don't want them to have to, you know, take an Uber and all that. So you gotta be there for your daughter. You know, she's hanging out with the girls. I don't have school Monday and Tuesday. We kind of did some cleaning. So yeah, we're out here. We're in Royal Oak, you know, beautiful area. It's really nice. Last time I was here, it was a snowstorm. And then, I don't know if you remember, I had the air pressure issues with the car, and that was a little bit scary. That's why you want to have good tires on your car. And I'm just scanning and looking through, and it's peaceful. So, we're just going to keep it real. We're going to go live. We're going to enjoy the drive. And it was scary going home. It was scary driving because I didn't know if I was going to make it. And sometimes you're going to have those drives, and you just got to manifest safety. Like, I know I'm going to make it. And if I'm low on gas, I'm going to make it. If I got a flat tire, I'm not going to stop. If my alternator's not charging, I'm going to keep driving, because if you stop, your car won't start again. I've been in those situations. I think we take our car for granted. And I've been there with a really old car that keeps breaking down. You're stuck. Your credit's low. You don't have any down payment. It's very frustrating. Very, 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 very stressful. So I've been there, and I preach from truth. But also, new cars, they're crazy ridiculous. 9,000 miles, 10,000 miles. And you got to put down 3,000 to 5,000. So I really want to get a decent used car, but the choices are hard. There's not much out there. I want like a SUV. A lot of these cars are small. Either you got a big truck or you got a small SUV. There's no in between. Okay. And then, from us looking on Facebook Marketplace, I'm kind of looking at some other style vehicles. I don't have much to go on because I haven't driven those type of vehicles. So I read a lot of, consumer reports about them. Are there problems with the car or truck? Does it break down frequently? I check consumer report. So like this Volkswagen's ahead of us. This is not bad, but it's too small to tow. But it looks nice. But I know before Sunday at 12 o'clock midnight, I've got to have that proposal in for the nonprofit. I've got to pay the money for my LLC. That's got to be done before Sunday, 12 o'clock midnight. So, and of course, I'm off tomorrow for Valentine's, right? Got to do something nice for the wife, and nice dinner and flowers. And so, and of course, I want to wish you an early happy Valentine's too. I appreciate you. But last time, this freeway was closed, and I had to take a different direction. And it kind of took me out of the way. But you need to know more than one. Oh, it still might be closed. Oh, man. I guess we will find out. Yep, it is. Dang! Oh, my God. No, I'm taking a different way. That's why you got to know how to read. I'm taking a different way. I'm not getting stuck. The last time I'm taking a different way. That's why you gotta know. Now this is the bike lane, okay? You gotta know different routes. And early on in my career, this is where I started teaching driver's ed. So it kind of has a sentimental memory, but it was the young me, okay? Wild, young. Still teaching people how to drive. You can do it. Come on, you're driving good. And that passion is still there too. So this is, it's kind of out of the way, but you got to drive on different expressways. It's just really nice. They spent a lot of money on this years and years and years. So that's why you got to read those signs. Because the detour would take you 5 or 10 miles out of the way. I'm at 137 miles fuel range too. And this is a really smooth expressway. It's 38 degrees. It's still cold out here. Don't think it's not. And this is kind of a really peaceful ride, but during the week, 4 lanes of chaos. They're doing 85 and 90. So let's try to get a nice peaceful ride. And this can be relaxing too, sometimes. What's going on? Hey, how are you doing? I'm a certified instructor. We're doing a driving tutorial. This expressway, as I think back in my career, this is good for a beginner because it's well lit. If I stay on this, it's going to get to come to a 2-lane. It's more difficult to see. It can be very scary. So, but you got 4 lanes. 2 lane to the right, slow moving lane, the 2 lanes in the middle, safety. The lane to the left, they fly. But it feels nice for me not to know that I have to work tomorrow, and I can relax a little bit. And then of course Monday and Tuesday I'm off. And then what I'm gonna do, edit videos, get the office right. So, the shopping mall area to the right, it switched names. It used to be Sears. Now, see, it's a little close there, brother. Come on. They're moving kind of slow right now. I'm gonna get over 1 lane. But during the journey in my career, I've taken hundreds of thousands of students on this route. Peaceful. Then of course you got the HOV lane to the left. You'll see the diamond shaped. You'll see a diamond shape, and that's for vehicles with more than 3 or 4 people. So that's pretty good. And I'm gonna get over. Yep. And this is definitely a faster expressway. Really smooth. Yep. I'm in the HOV lane right now. During rush hour, I would not be here because primarily I drive by myself. But this is to promote carpooling. Get over 1 lane. We're just going to take this all the way through. Yes. In the skylight, really beautiful. Those skyscrapers. It's kind of the business district out here. Really peaceful and nice. Sometimes drives are really like this, very peaceful, very chill. Kind of think about, what you're going to do in your next job. You want to leave your job because you don't like it, but you don't have a job to replace it, so you got to stay at your job. Your car's breaking down. You need a new car, but you can't afford a car. So it's always like that. Good, I'm going to get over. I'm glad I took this way. Really peaceful. I don't know if you can hear it. This is straight concrete. It's really a hard surface. And then there's a divergent diamond. We've driven through a couple of those. I don't know if you guys have seen a divergent diamond, but they push a lot of traffic through. But this is why good headlights are really important. Typically, when I use the driver's air card, the headlights are very weak. It's hard for students to drive. See high beams, low beams. Now they have huge brick walls on both sides, but occasionally a deer will come across and you know what's going to happen to them. I'm just trying to look ahead and keep the car straight. You can see it, but imagine driving 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. You get something called highway hypnosis. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, that's right. The pack of cars that's ahead of me and behind the pack. But this gives you a sense of freedom and mobility. I love it. You also think about, is my car going to make it? Are my tires good? Like I have to put windshield washer solvent in here. That's not a big deal, but in the wintertime, if you run out and you're trying to drive somewhere, you know, do you put windshield washer solvent in, or do you get gas? Or if your windshield washer solvent line broke because you put water in there and you're too cheap, then it's like that when I drove back from Wisconsin. It was, God was with me. I don't know how I made it back. Whether you buy new or used, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. And if you start looking at cars and then clothes and cars and clothes, you're going to get the last thing you looked at. Because the algorithm will customize things based on what you look at, as it should. So I'm just trying to maintain good speed. And it's really easy to fall asleep. Okay, you just have that dead silence. So I'm learning to keep it cool in the car, not warm. If you have it too warm, you know you're going to fall asleep. But you need to know 3 or 4 different routes to take home. I know at least 6 routes to get home or to another destination. Most of these mile roads go through. Sometimes they dead end in someone's backyard, or they've changed the configuration of the neighborhood. But most states have major shopping malls. they still go shopping. Brick and mortar are still important. Everyone doesn't go through Amazon. A lot of younger people and older people still go shopping. It's just the names have changed. Rent is very high. And just like when I started driver's ed, the parents would bring the kids to the mall, and then they would teach driver's ed. But then once the malls started closing down and driving companies started, it's a very competitive industry. The insurance and liability, the coverage, the requirements. One person said, you don't want to do a driver's ed company, it's just too much. Okay, and she had her own company like for 20 years. But I'm going to do a different model. I'm going to get over one lane. Okay, and on this turn, man, they do like 110. But we're not trying to do that. We're trying to stay safe. You can see this long curve. You know they're flying. We're about 75. Get over one lane to the right. It's like you're driving by yourself and then boom, you see cars. You're driving by yourself, boom, you see cars. But a lot of you won't do this deep drive because it depends on where you live. because I've done driver's ed so long, it takes me across many different cities, many different counties. So I have to know where I'm going. But also it's very stressful when you first teach someone how to drive if I'm in a different area because you don't know it. It can be really extremely boring too. Foot, squeeze my brake. And I've had so many drivers go so fast on this curve, literally they lose control. And there are reflectors on the left, so literally they'll go off the road. I've seen cars spin out and go into the ditch to the left. Very, very scary because it freezes. Now, one young lady almost crashed here. She was going about 60. She should have been going about 40 or 35. The rear end of the car spun out. I was so scared. I remember that. Then I gotta get over. Can't get over. Car's flying. I don't want to get sideswiped. See, that vehicle almost hit me. That's why you got to really be aware when you make lane changes. You got to constantly check your mirrors and your blind spots. If you don't, and you start getting comfortable, that's when you're going to sideswipe someone and they're going to hit you. Because we weren't recording, but there was a spinner accident. Car hit the wall to the left, and then I missed the exit because the last time I was here, it was in a snowstorm. I think it was getting ready to be New Year's. It was a crazy snowstorm, like very, 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 very bad. So you really got to know your car and know your ability. Once you know your car and ability, you're going to be good. I'm trying to stay out of cars' blind spots. Just really have my head on the swivel. Take my time. I've seen a lot of deer here too. So, whoa. We're kind of on a tight curve, as you can tell. Lift my foot. And literally, I'm trying to be a defensive driver and just stay out of the way of cars. I'm in the left lane now because you see the yellow to the left. You see some cars just holding up the flow, but that's okay. A lot of beginners tend to hang around cars, and if you hang around cars, they're going to forget you. They're in their blind spot. Okay, I'm gonna make my move. I'm being a little bit more assertive. Yes, there you go. Those Hondas are nice. That's a Honda to our left. They're just too small for me. It's a little sad. But everything is so expensive. I like the Toyotas. I almost bought a Toyota Tundra Pro hybrid. It's a twin turbo hybrid, mango orange. They were like, that was like 2 years ago, but there was a limited production run, and I think it cost like 62 or 65,000. Dealers were getting 77, 82, 88. So I didn't want to do that. I did not want to get the Toyota Tundra Pro. They were really nice. And Toyota's a great brand name. But if I can find a used one, you're kind of giving me some ideas, E. I'll buy a used one. Because that brand is incredible. They interviewed the engineer from Japan or China and talked about the frame design and the battery, and that's one vehicle I would get. They're just so different, so unique, and I like the Toyota brand name. And I do want a truck, and that truck is like incredible. The one I wanted was the orange, and they're just very hard to find. So I'm just kind of planning. That's a Ford to my left. I'm not into Fords like that. In fact, I did test drive a Ford F-150. I don't know what was wrong with me. I lost my mind. I lost my mind. So I think some of us are brand conscious, many of us are not. The Ram 1500, the Toyota Tundra Pro TDR, TRD, because once they started jacking up the price, no. So I'm gonna have to take a look at those. I think they still make those. They made some updates. A lot of people started making YouTube videos about it. I was eating. I was drinking the coffee. I was eating. So I was very close to getting one, but I waited to really build up the credit. And that's the thing, you know, once you pay your debt down and get out of debt, you don't really want to get back into it again. I don't. But if you get a junky car that's too many miles in there, it's going to break down on you. So you're like, man, what do I do? So a lot of people holding onto their cars a lot longer than they should. So, and these dealers, you got to put down $5,000, $4,000, $3,000. No one's doing that. You got to have like near perfect credit, 780, 750. I think mine is over 700. The highest I've been is about 725, but then they said I missed a payment to Ally, and then it dropped me to 650. It was terrible. I didn't mean to mention Ally, but I don't care anymore. It wouldn't work with me. It was a big struggle, a long time. That was a really tough time for me. And I say that honestly to you guys. That's why you want to get a vehicle you can afford. Because a third of your salary, maybe a fourth, you don't want more than half your salary to go toward a car note. So, and I'm not trying to show out anymore. I'm not trying to impress anyone. That's why it's so hard out here. Now this speed limit is 50. You start speeding through here, you're gonna get a ticket. Everyone's gonna slow down because the police hide. You've seen this many times, and you caught me eating, always eating, sticking food in my face. So I'm just trying to settle down because you usually to the right. That's where the police hide. So I'm just trying to drop my speed down. Yep, they're there. Ah, brother, they're there. You know where the police hide? They're not trying to mess with me. I don't need no problems. Cars are just so expensive. This Suburban is like 65 to 80,000. I don't really like it. I gotta slow down. I'm going too fast. I'm like 10 over. I'm trying to slow down. Lifting my foot off the gas. I'm not trying to draw attention to myself. There, I'm better now. Yep. Yes, I moved some things upstairs. We're switching places. Son is getting the basement. I had everything set up there, so I gotta put all my junk upstairs. Fortunately, he's got the second largest bedroom, so that's gonna be the new studio. I'm gonna set up a podcast area. I'm not playing. I already put some of his junk out. So I really want to have this stuff set up so I can just interview people. Like, this truck just cut over. I really shouldn't be hanging around the Suburban. I'm going to keep going. It's like you're driving, all of a sudden these slow cars come out of nowhere. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to rear end someone. But I'm not really moving that fast. But they're just moving that slow. Maybe it's me because I'm drinking this coffee late at night. You feel me? I'm on that caffeine, bro. Sometimes I take clients through college campuses. That's a good way to drive. You got a lot of stop signs. Go around malls. Some of these malls, they're deserted. The roads are terrible. They have huge potholes. People don't stop at stop signs. So we drive through the mall sometimes, and great parking there. You know, this is the first time we had to stop in a minute. Yeah, usually I had this coffee in the morning, but I knew I was driving on the expressway with the girls, so I said, let me get a coffee. My daughter had some too, and then she had another beverage in her other hand. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't condone that. We just keeping it real. So, but she's 22. She can do what she wants, and I'll pick her up. I don't want her having to take an Uber home. Now it's gonna be stop and go traffic here. And I'm just trying to scan left, middle, and right. You know, because of that side swipe, like I'm really like more aware now. Like I don't want to roll up on cars. Okay, like that Ford F-150 is really nice, but that thing's like 60K. I'm not doing that. My price range is around 50, 52. Like I made some videos looking at the trucks that I want. They're 51, 52, 53. You know, you got to put down $2,000, but that was 3 years ago. Now they want $4,000, $5,000. You got to get a loan to get a down payment. Then you got another payment at the bank. I don't want to do that because we got 2 loans almost paid off. So this is why I'm trying to show discipline. The lease is up on this vehicle, I think, in December. So we're gonna have to get something. But you should always have a backup vehicle just in case. People will steal anything. This is real peaceful, real route here. I saw a couple of track hawks, a 20 or an 18, but I can't afford that. It's 2026. What am I doing buying an 18 or a 19? That's crazy. And then a transfer case of brick. It's just stupid. You know, I'm an adult now. I got to make proper decisions. I'm done making stupid decisions. And sometimes we do this. Ladies do it sometimes. More men do it than ladies. You just buy things you know you can't really afford. And you're like, I got it. I just got to work more hours. No. We're tired. I'm trying to pay debt down. Like, you see these cars just speeding for no reason. Like, they're cutting over really fast. It's not this serious. It's like everyone is always in a hurry. Even at night, they're in a hurry. In the morning, they're in a hurry. It's like, where are we going? But I'm making a lot more changes than I normally do to show you, you know, if you bounce from lane to lane to lane, you could run the risk of rear-ending someone or getting sideswiped. Usually I'm in one lane and I just stay chill. But if you're constantly changing lanes like a lot of drivers do, you're going to run the risk of rear-ending someone or sideswiping someone. Taking my time. You can tell I'm getting tired. When you're on these long drives, you get tired like this. And your back starts aching, backside starts aching, like you gotta get up and get out. Make another lane change. All right, I'm back. What's going on? A lot of cars going over, police around. What's going on? So you just got to be prepared for these situations all the time. And there are a lot of people who are just tired and driving very erratic on Friday and Saturday nights. All right, I don't want to be rude to you guys. I've got to go get some fuel. So we'll talk tomorrow. Maybe I'll have the new setup up, but I just want to say I really appreciate you guys going along, learning, us talking. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.